The video games industry is one of the most innovative and fastest growing industries in the world. The men and women of this industry work tirelessly to provide entertainment for the masses, and some of these provide the music. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves playing those video games. Video games. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves listening to video games. Video games. Do we even know who these people are? No. Would video games be the same without them? No. What you're about to hear are not real songs.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, as the case may be. Welcome to the IGM Sunday NewsCast. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Sescon, and also in the call with me is Kurt. How's it going, Kurt?
Greetings. Hello. I'm Kurt. Hi, everybody.
I am Kurt.
Yes, that is me. Hi, everyone.
It's been, what, like 2 weeks or so for me?
For you in general?
Yeah, since I was on the show here, so.
Damn it, Nick. Where have you been?
I know. I've been lazy.
Oh, whatever. You do stuff. We do stuff. Yeah, it's been a bit. Last week was Bonnie and I think I was shooting guns at trees the weekend before that. But yeah, whatever. Here we are. Sunday podcast, hitbox cast, and stuff.
Good. I love it.
Anyways, how is everyone? Everyone doing well?
Yeah, I hope everybody on YouTube that's watching, we're talking exactly to you.
This is true.
Right?
In past tense or future tense, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the future of the YouTube viewers, I hope you're doing okay. And thank you for watching, too.
Yes, very much so. Okay, may as well get started with news. This week in indie game news, specifically indie game magazine news.
Because we're a magazine.
Exactly.
Because we do that.
We just we launched our September issue not too long ago, which is available for everybody. The link will be in the description below and hopefully in chat.
Just put that in.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I couldn't remember if you were modded or not. And yeah, I remember that I modded you. So
I've been gifted that. Thank you.
But yeah, this was a big magazine. We're starting to get a lot more content in our magazine, which I am a total fan of, and we're starting to get a lot of big names. At least
damn
in the indie
right.
scene.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're big names despite indie or not.
Mm-hmm.
They're superstars in our eyes. So, but yes, this is an exciting issue. This was my first. I think this is my first issue that I was actually.
Your first?
Yeah, that I was published in. I came in. Wait, is it? Yes, it is. Because I came in right as the August issue was launching, Elysian Shadows. So this is my first published indie game magazine issue.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you.
Is this your first published piece?
I suppose in print kind of thing. Yes, it would be. I mean, I've had like small things online there and there, but nothing under like an actual name. Like I can't, it wasn't like Kurt Indovina under Indie Game Magazine. It was just like, I'm Kurt. Here's my thing on some random website. So yeah, this is my first official publication.
Well, congratulations and welcome to the club, Mr. Published Writer.
The Mr. Published Writer Club. Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Not a worry. So yeah, if you guys want to check out, we have some really cool stuff in here. We had Ninja Pizza Girl was in there. Noir Run is in there, which is a really fun game. Quarries of Scred, which I don't know if anybody here knows Kale, but he is like the super nicest dev ever. And we even got There Came an Echo. So make sure to check that out. If you're watching on Hitbox, if you're watching on YouTube, please do, because the more of you guys that check that out, the more awesome content we get to make.
And it's also just awesome. It's just cool to have a magazine, featured specifically towards indie game stuff, not just an online website. So I think Indie Game Magazine's a cool thing, despite whether I'm in it or not. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You should just, what I'm saying is, screw your other magazines that you're reading, that you're buying on shelves. They're like, you could read your GQ and look at your nice, well-dressed men, or you can look at your well-dressed game developers or their well-dressed games. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna stop.
No. Keep going. That was a fun tangent right there.
I read GQ, so
Oh, that's cool.
it's from a personal standpoint. Well, what I'm saying is I'm going to cancel my subscription tomorrow and subscribe to this instead. So, and you can get them in print. I didn't actually know you can get our magazine. I mean, like I knew back in the day you could, but I didn't. Is it through JUMag that we can actually print them, send them? No, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I know when I got hired on that, they actually wanted to do like they wanted a print as well.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, a print line, which would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind having something tangible and being like, "Look, parents, I'm published."
Yes. Yes. The parents.
The parents. Oh,
The parents.
what a topic.
we even touched on that a little bit last time too.
Yeah, we did.
Anyways, but yeah, buy the magazine. End of story.
Also, last weekend in Chicago came a cute little con. I had like, I think the count was up to 6 friends that were telling me all about this con called Bit Bash Chicago. Did you hear about that one at all?
I don't know about this. I don't. To be honest, Chicago is like one of the only cities I haven't been to that are actually near me, and I don't know what goes on there. So this is. I just found out recently that they had a pretty decent comic book convention that goes on over there that I want to check out. So I'm excited to learn about this.
Yeah, it's interesting that Chicago is like one of the only American cities that I've been to, and it's like on the other side of the continent. But there were quite a few cool games. There are some that we know and love, like Gang Beasts. I'm not sure if people know that one. PewDiePie kind of did a video on it and made it really big. And it's being published by Double Fine, which I found really interesting.
That Double Fine.
That Double Fine.
That Double Fine.
They're going to be Triple Fine soon. They haven't made a mistake yet.
I know. Seriously.
Yeah. This game called Crawl, which I love. I love the way that these graphics look, but what I love the most is that it's a 2-player game. One player is controlling the dude with the sword, and the other player is controlling a ghost that gets to possess the things around the map and try to kill the player.
Let me play that.
Right? It's a really interesting twist on a co-op or a 2-player game.
Yeah, I want that now.
Yeah, yeah.
And with that said, I'm going to post the link in the chat because
please do.
I'm going to look at it too.
Johann Sebastian Joust. I'm not sure if anybody's seen this. This is it's not really a video game, but it's meant to be used with like motion controllers, and it's the last person standing wins. I think you have to like hit the other person's controller. So it's just a fun little one. Big ones like Crypt of the Necrodancer, which if you haven't bought, get out from under the rock and buy that. Same as Nidhogg. That's an amazing game. And then Dumpy, probably one of the show favorites, is an Oculus Rift game where you are playing from the point of view of an elephant. And you're just walking down the street, and as you move your head around, you swing your trunk and smash stuff.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
Not only is it fun for you to play, but it's fun for everybody to watch you play, too.
Finally. Yeah, especially if it's out of context of what you're playing with the Oculus Rift on. Tango and Paradise Simulator. Jeez, this is amazing.
I know.
When is this convention happening?
Unfortunately, it happened last weekend.
Son of God.
Yeah, I know. But it's something to keep an eye on in the future.
Yeah, seriously.
Choosatron. This is an interesting one. Again, it's hard to label it as a video game, but it's a choose your own adventure, but with like a cashier ticker tape. And then it has 4 buttons. But the nice thing is that it's got a wireless capabilities, so it'll download these stories off the website as soon as they're updated, kind of thing. And you can actually write the stories yourself and upload them to the website. So it has the potential to be really, really interesting. And they're seeing a really good, a lot of good feedback from children playing this game.
Oh, I'm a child.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love it.
It's a good way to be interactive with the stories that you read and write.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Rex Rocket, I also want to talk on. It's like one of the platforming one. I I want them for the Average Giants because the game looks amazing. Amazing. I just love the style of graphics and the level of difficulty that people are saying this one has, Rex Rocket. I was told to look out for Slash Dash. I still don't know too much about that one. Triad, interesting game. It's like a Tetris or Traffic one.
Ah, yes, I know about Triad actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I do.
It's such a interesting one. Wait, yeah, you have to. Sorry, you have to put people on a bed sleeping. 3 people sleeping on one bed. So it's kind of crazy.
And sexy.
So sexy. Hypnospace Enforcer. It just looks funky in the way that like Super Time Force looks funky. So I'm gonna want to see that one. Same as Rockets, which is a 2-player competitive again, where you play 2 rockets that are trying to hit each other, like Star Wall, and then you can shoot rockets, which eventually shoot rockets. So it's like rockets firing rockets from rockets at rockets. So yeah, that one would be great.
Looks like the paths that they create are really sweet too. Like
yeah, totally. They just right off.
What are those? Oh God, what are those things called? Like back in the day, you'd have like the colorful pens and like the little template thing.
Oh yeah.
Drawn and make that.
Oh God, I can't remember. I had one of those.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, totally. When they had all the weird shapes with the teeth on them, so that like the circles.
Is it called Spirocraft? No.
Quite possibly.
Spiral, whatever.
Yeah,
that's
something
what
like that.
That's what Rockets reminds me of.
This is Relax Harder. I'm just going to read the synopsis. This is the Thunderdome of Zen. 2 brains, 2 brain scanners, and 1 magical LED display of dueling brainwaves. And so you're in a competition to see how much more calm or docile you can be than the other person.
Wow. I think I'd fail miserably at that one.
Yeah, I know I would fail miserably at that one. Super Hexagon was there. I'm sure a couple people have heard of that.
I don't think I actually know.
But
looks
really?
Crazy. My
it
God.
Is. It's known throughout the streaming community as like one of the most ridiculous and crazy games. But it's like much like the Impossible game. The soundtrack makes it 100% worth it. But it is a stress test of like reflex testing pain. That's the best way that I could say that. But
for those who hate themselves.
Yeah, exactly. As you guys can see, there is a lot happening in Chicago. So what is also nice to see is these indie game conventions popping up, where it's like you go to PAX and they've got, say, the PAX 10, which they get their own little room. But then you've got like the indie. It's called the Indie Mega Booth, and it's like this corner of one of the floors. That's put for indie developers, and it's like, here you have a little cubicle.
Essentially.
Go
like,
at
yeah,
it.
it would be like just a normal, like it's just like a normal convention table. Like if anybody just was like to buy a table at a convention, just have like their own little thing. That's what it would be in comparison to like the rest of PAX, which are just these statues and elaborate like posters and crazy things. So
to me, like it feels like when you go for Christmas dinner and you're still too young to be at the adults table and you get put at the kids table. That's how I feel PAX kind of treats the indie games. So, that being said, I'm just really excited to see more of these, more focus being put on indie games and how they get their own conventions. Because we're still growing. It's still a huge thing that's getting more huge every day.
Definitely.
Next, I would like to touch on... Oh! Speaking of cons, did you know about the Gamer X con?
Nick, I don't think I know anything.
Okay,
because apparently I don't know about this either. But
what Gamer X was a convention for gay developers and gamers to
Oh,
enjoy
you know
each other's
what? I'm
company.
so foolish. I do know about this.
Ah, there you go.
I was literally thinking gamer, just the
Yeah.
word gamer. So just seeing it, yes, I heard about this.
However, there were two issues with that. One, they had three annual conventions for GamerX. One issue was their funding, and they were getting less and less funding to the point that they almost didn't have their latest convention. And the other problem was inclusivity, because, I mean, it's a growing world, and we are becoming much more socially mature with how we view people and how people view themselves. So instead of using the moniker of GamerX, they are now called GX Everybody Games, or Everyone Games. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's meant for everybody. I mean, it has a focus on, alternative sexualities and that kind of thing, which is good. It's good to have a place for that.
Absolutely. Totally.
But I'm also glad to see it grow and expand its inclusivity. And, like, it isn't just for, like, say, gay people or whatever either. I know
Of course.
the developer of Black Ice, Garrett Cooper, super duper Garrett Cooper. He went to GamerX just last year, and he said it was probably his favorite convention that he ever went to.
That's amazing. Where's this one at?
This one, that is a good question.
I'm making a list of these things so I can go to them.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, Chicago's near me. I mean, it's reachable by driving. So I want to have an excuse to go to a city I haven't been to yet. So,
if you guys want to know more about it as well, they have a Kickstarter going right now. They need 80 grand, and they're sitting at 68,000 to get the new GX3 fully funded.
And I'll link that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
As for where? Well, anyway, you guys can watch the video, and it will explain everything. It's quite robust. So, I will leave that to you guys. And this one I wanted to touch on too. This one's cool.
Yeah, this one's really interesting and surprising. I think it is surprising, at least, just because this engine I feel like was very exclusive. I don't know. I feel like it was impossible for me to learn or get it, and now they're just like here.
Yeah,
and I think that's amazing.
So I'll explain. The Unreal Engine 4 is now being given for free to post-secondary institutes and their students. And on the link here, it links to the actual site where you can apply for your own school, because game development is the fastest growing job in the United States right now. So I'm glad to see that even big like AAA engines are trying to get in on that.
Definitely. Especially with things like Unity too, that I feel like have just essentially been the backbone for the past couple years for indie game development, because essentially, it's free to use. You can go get it right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Unreal is just one of those bigger, as an obviously huge name and a huge thing, and it just didn't seem as accessible, especially afford wise, money wise.
Exactly.
So seeing them to just like openly kind of give this to students, and that's flipping awesome. Like, that's great.
And it's interesting as well, because not long ago, probably 2 or 3 months ago, the new Cry engine, that is like the contender for Unreal. They're both
definitely
super big engines, and that one, they went with a subscription base. So you pay $20 a month to Crytek, and they give you the full engine and full rights to use it, etc., etc., etc.
Well, damn Skippy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that either.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, because it means that we don't need to use Unity for everything anymore.
Definitely.
So I'll be interested to see what happens in the next few years when your tools become more accessible. And it's happened in television, and it's happened in like radio, where when the industry starts, the only people that can do it are the people that can afford the ridiculously high cost tools. So like the recording studios or the TV studios. But as soon as you get something like your iPhone, which has both audio and video recording, it takes on a whole new level. And then we get things like all the viral stuff that sweeps through YouTube.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or like
And we don't
Vines.
have to deal with those grumpy old men who are just kind of grandfathered into this industry, and now us common folk can have
Yeah,
a part.
EA.
So, yeah, seriously. Bastards. Anyways.
So yeah, I'll be interested to see where it goes for sure.
But yeah, Unreal. That news is, unreal.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, I quit. I had my first published piece and now I'm done.
And we're out.
And that's it. I'm excited to see it's like. I want to see what person takes the Unreal Engine, this ridiculously beautiful engine, and just makes the strangest thing imaginable.
Yeah.
I want to see like the most beautiful, scariest, creepy art game ever. Using the
should we
Unreal
get in
Engine.
contact with the guy that made the lady?
Let's get it. Oh, yes, yes. Let's do it. Like, hey, just so you know, I don't know if you're a student, but you're about to become one. You better get this thing.
Here, I've made the University of I Want to See a Creepy Game.
I mean, there's so many indie games out there, or just games in general, that are made with Unity and stuff, and like they're very bizarre and weird, and I feel like they're like that by fault almost of just maybe poor design or whatever. But I would just love to see something that's on like Gears of War standard, just something like CryEngine standard, just super graphically advanced, and it's just the most horrifying thing you'll ever play.
Well, I do know. Have you heard of that Lichdom Battle Mage game?
Aren't we doing that?
Yes.
Or,
yeah. It's going to be in the next issue for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So I didn't look that one up, but I do know about it.
I picked it up a couple of days ago, and I've been watching it through early access. And I will say that on my monster of a supercomputer that's designed for AAA gaming, that indie game is probably the best looking game on my computer right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, the graphical fidelity. Like, I watch gameplay of YouTube, and it doesn't even do it justice. Like, we're getting to that point now. And
wow. Oh, my God. All right, I'm looking up right now, and...
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's exciting. Hey, what's up, Yin? It's exciting to me because back in the day, you had things like RPG Maker. And it's like, okay, that's what indie is now.
Oh, yeah.
And then this
Those days.
lovely Unity thing came out. And it's like, oh my God, that's what indie is now. They're Half-Life 2 mods forever. So... It's nice that the indie industry is getting the tools to make whatever kind of game they want. If they want to make a game that would traditionally look like it's AAA, that's perfect. Because in the past, the graphics and graphical fidelity was the most expensive investment that any game would put towards itself, because whoever had the best graphics sold the best.
Exactly.
That's no longer the case, because you've got crazy little games like even from RPG Maker that are amazing, or from Unity that are actually making quite a bit of money, or I mean, dare I use the example of Minecraft?
oh, dare you. No, but it's absolutely like that game, if anything, is like, I feel like the backbone of ugliness turned into like probably the biggest game in the world right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry, I'm just looking at Lynchdom and like I want to know more. Although I probably will not be able to run this game.
I'm not sure who got the piece, but I'm wondering if they're going to have that problem too. I foresee a week from now of Nick.
Somebody being like, yeah, it's usually thank God I didn't take it, because I'd just be sitting here on a machine that won't be doing anything with it.
There is nothing worse than that feeling either, of going, oh my God, I'm so excited for this, and my computer has failed me. I
admit, for the story that I did in the last magazine for Meridian, it's like a RTS. I had to go to a friend's house and use their computer to be able to play this game for at least a couple hours. But in my head, I was like, it's an indie game. It'll be fine. Because that's the old woman in me telling me that.
But
And lo and behold, I'm sitting at my computer and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? But
well, shit.
yeah,
And it's technically it's a good thing that indie gaming is getting to that point.
no, that was my next point. So it means that I will have to do some investing because this is these are the type of games I want to be playing, and it's a good thing that they're pushing boundaries technically
exactly.
too. So
Yeah, no,
that's the next step to have these games have been doing great things story wise. Obviously, a narrative that other developers are afraid to do, bigger developers, and now only makes sense to take these awesome approaches to narrative and do things technically with them too, which developers essentially are afraid to do, bigger ones. So
how long until we see something like Call of Duty Modern Indie?
Call of Duty where you don't shoot guns.
Yeah.
And you have really pleasant conversations with people and figure out your problems that way.
Oh my god,
I'm selling that idea right now.
Yeah. At least trademark it.
Call of a conversation.
Call of phone.
Brilliant. All right. Average
All right.
Giants, we're doing that next week.
Done.
Okay. Kickstarters?
Yeah, actually, we're going to start a new thing here called the Indie Game Showcase. So one of the nice things that we've started doing is, obviously we have advertising for people that want advertising because we're a magazine. One of the problems is that a lot of indie developers and that kind of thing aren't able to afford it. So what we've done is we actually are giving them some free-ish ad space on our actual website for their Kickstarters. And then we are going to showcase those Kickstarters throughout the month, every month. And this week we're going to be doing Desolate.
Yes. I did the story on this one, the website story for this.
Let me give you an Average Giants line. Before you watch this video, could you give a quick synopsis of the game?
Synopsis. Okay. So this is a essentially, I would consider it like a 2D, or not consider it. It is a 2D puzzle, hand-painted puzzle game. But essentially, it's a narrative adventure game where you play as a character. I don't think he has a name, or it's not listed at least. And you're in a village in which shadowy-like figures come to this village, and essentially you, as a player, have to sacrifice your friends and family to escape these shadowy figures.
Oh, wow.
And upon your journey and escaping and falling through a cave and meeting these tiny little cave-like creatures that are afraid of you at first, but then you realize you have to befriend these things to help them escape with you. And along this journey, you realize that you've made a horrible mistake sacrificing your friends and family, and now feel the guilt, and you need to go back to help them. And what I find so beautiful about this game is Elliot Cullis is making it very clear that this is kind of a personal thing for him. Now, whether it's directly related to something he's done or something in his life, he hasn't done that, and that's completely fine. But tackling this, sense of regret and then having to atone for that, and is really remarkable and personable and cool. And when it's met with this almost expressionistic painting style, it's just I find it very captivating. So that is Desolate.
Okay. And
so yeah.
I want to watch it now because that sounds really cool. I want it to play now because that sounds really cool.
And cue.
There we go.
Hey Kickstarter, my name's Elliot Collis. I'm a Kiwi living in Japan and I've been working on Desolate for the last year now. Desolate is a 2D puzzle adventure game where you use the three core interactions of gesture, touch and speak to communicate with the inhabitants of the world. All of the music is done by New Zealand musician and lifelong friend Ben Tollage. In the beginning of the game, shadowy figures invade your village. You have to sacrifice your friends and family to escape. After you fall into a ravine under the Desolates, there you encounter these little cave creatures who you have to befriend and help escape the caves which you've become trapped in. You realize that you need to go back and correct the mistakes that you've made, but everything's changed. Your friends and family no longer trust you or want your help. You need to change, and you need to face your inner shadows and your inner self to do so. So throughout the game, the core mechanics never really change. You still use gesture, touch and speak and some light platforming elements to solve most of the puzzles. What does change is what's expected of you and how the core interactions change between the different inhabitants and the different settings in the environment. The puzzles and story in the game are crafted together in such a way that there is no dialogue. Everything that you want to say is told through your actions. An example of this is in the first act. You can call to your friends and they'll come a little closer, but this may mean that they get captured, which will then mean you can continue on. In the caves, if you call to the little cave creatures, they'll get timid and scared and run away. So if you gesture to them, they'll come a little bit closer and you can work together to escape. Please check out the rewards below. There's a lot of great rewards, including a poster done by good friend Rickard Westman, which you can also get as a t-shirt. Plus there's handmade plush and an art book for the game and many more rewards. Thank you for checking out Desolate, and I really hope you back the game. Thank you.
The Indie Game Magazine is now available. Click here to subscribe to the June issue. Facepalm. We need to take the dates out of that.
Well, okay.
I like it. I'm in. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds very depressing.
Yeah. That seems to be, I find as not a theme that is done often in video games. Maybe because video games are an escape for people, so therefore they play video games because they are depressed. I don't know. But I mean, but this is the second Kickstarter I've seen for a game that's pretty much, I would say, geared towards the theme of depression. I don't know if I think we actually covered Song for Vigo. Do you remember that?
No.
It was a point and click adventure game and its like essential theme was depression.
Oh yeah, right. Yes. I do.
And this is the second Kickstarter that I saw, and it kind of reminded me of that last one. And I'm in full support of that. I think that's a very tough thing to do, especially in video games. And I also think it's really unique to see these one-man band kind of developers kind of just come out and essentially, throw that this is probably a problem for them, and they're going to make a game about it to help them cope with it. So I can't help but respect that and support that. But yeah, I think it's a very simple premise, and I like that it's ambiguous in terms of like names and places. It's just like I really do think the game is best described as like an expressionistic painting. Like every still looks like it could just be like, a painting like from the Scream or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
I also think this game will do well based on the fact that these deeper meaning games that deal with more adult issues or taboo topics really benefit from the game as a medium because of the interactivity. Like, you can watch a movie and feel sorry for the way something's going, or you can relate to how a character is acting or feeling. But with the game as a medium, you're forced to go through that yourself because you're the one in control of the experience. So I think something like dealing with depression is not something that everybody wants to face, but with deeper meaning games like this, it's something that people will definitely learn more about. And I'm sure it helps the developer cope, but it'll probably end up helping a lot of the players cope too.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's a relatable concept. Like, I mean, you could put that in many things, doing something or hurting someone and just kind of, never facing that problem. So yeah, I think I think I even said in my story, I was just like, it's essentially exactly what you just said. It's games like this or themes like this that I really do think push the medium forward, that like allows it to grow. So yeah, but something we should touch on though for this, since this campaign is with us, or working with us, you can get a subscription to Indie Game Magazine by donating to this.
And I'm trying to find.
It said there's two things. Yeah, there's two things. Like $30 or 30 New Zealand dollars, you get the issue that this is going to be in, which is October's issue.
Yeah.
Or you can do the 60 New Zealand dollars, which is a little less than like 55 American bucks, and you can get a year's or 12 issue subscription to Indie Game Magazine.
Yeah. As well as all the other rewards for the game.
Exactly.
Like the subscription to IGM is really an awesome bonus.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant that we're working with these Kickstarters to.
I think this is it's definitely a good way for us to do this. We've been, ever since we started this newscast, we've been trying to think of a way to give back to the indie developer and the Kickstarter, scene. Kind of thing. So I think this was a very natural way for us to go, and I think it's going to help more than anything else. I know we did just one Kickstarter last month, and we helped it actually back, and they actually got funded. So, it's awesome.
Was that Elysian Shadows?
Yes, that was Elysian Shadows.
Damn, Skippy.
Yeah.
That was a big one, too. Like, that was... Don't let that... I mean, to any of you developers out there, don't let that huge number. It was like $150,000 that they did. I mean, don't let that, freak you out, because we will support any.
Yeah. Actually,
so.
We have one Kickstarter today I want to look at because of the funding price. But we'll get to that later.